Hey everybody, how you doing? Next week, well really it's this week, the Oakland A's are slated to meet with representatives of what the media calls, interchangeably, the African American Sports and Entertainment Group and AASEG Land. Or how about AASEG? At the behest of AASEG co-founder Raymond Bobbitt, aka Ray Bobbitt. The objective will be to get on the same page, the city and AASEG, regarding how to develop their parts of, the Oakland Athletics, the city and AASEG, regarding how to develop their parts of the land that make up the Oakland-Alameda County Coliseum Complex. But what Oakland A's principal owner John Fisher and President Dave Kaval should not forget and bring up is the lawsuit filed by original AASEG co-founders Brien, Dixon, Karim, Muhammed. The reason is simple. The lawsuit court hearings start April 2nd, and considering the allegations presented by Dixon and Muhammed, a fair argument can be made for the early termination of the exclusive negotiating agreement, as it's called, ENA. Now, that action would not necessarily, consider this, okay? The action would not necessarily make the A's path toward whatever it is they want to do with the Coliseum property easier. But as things now, that could happen. Here's why. Given the gravity of what Ray Bobbitt is alleged to have done, Brien Dixon and Karim Muhammad could be in a good position to file an injunction against the current ENA. Let's take the view of the Cornell Law School. The Cornell Law School tells us that, quote, injunctive relief is generally only granted in extreme circumstances. The party seeking a preliminary injunctive relief must demonstrate, 1, irreparable injury in the absence of such an order. 2, that the threatened injury to the moving part outweighs the harm to the opposing party resulting from that order. 3, that the injunction is not adverse to public interest. And 4, that the moving party has a substantial likelihood of success on the merits. In considering these factors, courts have been described to apply what is called a sliding scale approach, where the more likely a movement will succeed on the merits, the less irreparable harm to the movement needs to be shown in granting the injunction. There is no mathematical means, according to Cornell, of balancing these factors. Therefore, the sliding scale approach is based on a court's intuitive judgment. It is worth noting that courts will not find irreparable harm where the damages sustained are calculable. New York has held that in such situations, monetary damages serve as adequate remedy. Now, can Dixon and Muhammad claim irreparable injury in the absence of being rightfully included or in the AASEG organization that the original name partners with Ray Bobbitt and Levant Ogabale, okay, that are the original name partners with Ray Bobbitt and Levant Ogabale? Yes, and for obvious reasons. Dixon and Muhammad would be excluded from gain from any transaction AASEG is in, including payment from charged developer fees. That's what would happen if the current situation continues. They were X'd out illegally. They cannot gain from any activity AASEG does, and so they are harmed. And can Dixon and Muhammad assert that, quote, the threatened injury to the moving party outweighs the harm to the opposing party resulting from the order? The answer is an absolute yes, because AASEG's Bobbitt and company would be prohibited from gain in any transaction because of the injunction. And finally, is the injunction, quote, not adverse to public interest? And does, quote, the moving party, is it that the moving party has a substantial likelihood of success on the merits? Referring to Dixon and Muhammad. First, What is bad about stopping a situation where the plaintiffs can claim that AASEG's Bobbitt tried to switch company LLC names and thus put them in an inactive state? That's not the legal way you remove partners from a business entity. Second, the simple answer is yes. What Bobbitt did is not the way to handle disputes with business partners. You don't exactly, walk up to them and bite them on the bottom and say, hey, now you're out. All of this is already Oakland A's problem because the city of Oakland has forced the A's to work with AASEG. AASEG Land, or African American Sports Entertainment Group, as Dixon and Muhammed Partnership calls it, holds 50% of the Coliseum property rights. Enough said. Plus, the remedy to solve the whole problem is easy. Ray Bobbitt needed to enact the original partnership agreement. Sources tell me that both parties, Ray Bobbitt and Dixon and Muhammed, have been encouraged to work out an agreement. At a time when far too many African Americans appear to be divided in ways completely without precedent, just look at Cam Newton recently, it would be a much needed light toward a brighter future, wouldn't it? Let's both hope they do just that, work it all out, and then make sure that they do and work it out just before the end of this Black History Month. The Oakland A's can be a great help in ending the sad state of affairs among parties Ray Bobbitt and Dixon and Muhammed. All right. See ya.